what was going on, I think, was in the culture was this exaggeration of the risks and suppression and minimization of the benefits. And I think what Timothy Leary did in response was the opposite.
Yes.
He's like, okay, I can exaggerate the benefits. One dose, you're enlightened, you know more than everybody else. And then he would minimize the risks.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's terrible.
You can't do that. You know, I think I had, I don't know if you ever saw the podcast, I had Alex Berenson on, who wrote a book called Tell Your Children, and it's all about the dangers of marijuana. And I had him on with Dr. Mike Hart, who is a cannabis doctor in Canada. And, you know, one of the things that he was talking about was people, for whatever reason, when they have a high dose of marijuana, there's something that happens to some of them where they have like a schizophrenic break. And I have heard of it. I know people who have had this. And the pro-marijuana people do not want to acknowledge this danger. They want to paint marijuana as a completely innocuous substance that no one should worry about. And I think it's way too powerful for that. And I think too many people are psychologically or physiologically vulnerable. We're not all the same. And if someone is particularly vulnerable, whether it's towards schizophrenia or whatever mental illness it might be, there's something about these experiences that seem to send them over the edge. And that's something that we should be concerned with. We should talk about it.
We have to, because if we become what we the opposite of what we are worried about. Or actually, we don't become the opposite. We become like them. We just do the same. So I think
it's the same thing. It's like we become the polar opposite. We just justify things that we find morally reprehensible. We find ethically terrible, and we justify it because we're doing it for the right side. You can't do that.
It's completely wrong. So what we have
with anything, right?
You know, people talk to me a lot about where might the backlash come from. You know, for now we're very close. We think now with 2 successful phase 3 studies. The second one was confirmatory, so it's, you know, millions of chances that it was random and not real. You know, it's incredible results. So we think by potentially June of 2024 we should have FDA. We have a good chance of having FDA approval.